Reborn again? 9 signs that suggest you've lived before. Have you ever felt an inexplicable connection to a place you've never been? Or possessed knowledge you can't explain? What if I told you these aren't just quirks, but potential signs of a past life? Stick around because in this video, we're diving into the fascinating world of reincarnation and uncovering 9 mind-blowing signs that you might have lived before. Hey there, curious minds. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're exploring a topic that's as mysterious as it is captivating: the possibility of past lives. Now, before you roll your eyes or reach for that skip button, hear me out. This isn't just some woo-woo nonsense. We're talking about experiences that millions of people around the world have reported. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's embark on this journey of self-discovery together. Now let's start with some mind-boggling numbers. Did you know that according to a 2018 Pew Research Center survey, about 33% of Americans believe in reincarnation? That's roughly 108 million people in the US alone. And globally, the numbers are even more staggering. In India, for instance, about 81% of the population believes in reincarnation. That's over 1 billion people. But why do so many people believe in past lives? Well, that's exactly what we're here to explore today. We're going to dive into 9 signs that might indicate you've lived before. Now remember, these aren't definitive proof. We're not claiming to have all the answers here, but they are intriguing possibilities that might make you think twice about your own experiences. Let's kick things off with our first sign: unexplained fears or phobias. Have you ever had an intense fear of something that you can't explain? Maybe you're terrified of water, even though you've never had a bad experience with it. Or perhaps the sight of a tall building sends shivers down your spine, despite never having fallen from one. These unexplained fears could be echoes from a past life. Think about it. If you drowned in a previous life, wouldn't it make sense to have an irrational fear of water in this one? It's like your soul remembers the trauma, even if your current mind doesn't. Now, I know what you're thinking, but wait, couldn't these fears just be learned behaviors or genetic predispositions? And you're absolutely right to question that. In fact, many psychologists would agree with you. But here's the thing: while some fears can be explained by genetics or learned experiences, others remain a mystery. And that's where the concept of past lives comes in. Moving on to our second sign: recurring dreams or nightmares. Have you ever had a dream that feels more like a memory? Maybe you're in a place you've never been, wearing clothes from a different era, or living a life that's completely different from your own. And this dream keeps coming back, night after night. These recurring dreams could be glimpses into your past lives. It's as if your subconscious is trying to show you fragments of who you once were. Now, I'm not saying every weird dream you have is a past life memory. Our brains are complex and dreams can be influenced by many factors. But when a dream feels unusually vivid and keeps recurring, it might be worth paying attention to. Our third sign is one that might surprise you: inexplicable skills or knowledge. Have you ever picked up a skill with unusual ease? Or found yourself knowing things you've never learned? Maybe you can play a musical instrument without formal training, or you understand complex mathematical concepts without studying them. These inexplicable abilities could be past life skills resurfacing. It's as if your soul remembers what it once knew, even if your current brain doesn't. Now, skeptics might argue that this is just natural talent or subconscious learning. And they could be right. But when you find yourself excelling at something you've never practiced, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? Now let's talk about something really fascinating. Our fourth sign: xenoglossy. Xenoglossy is a phenomenon where a person can speak or understand a language they've never learned in their current life. It's rare, but there have been documented cases of people suddenly speaking fluent foreign languages during hypnosis or in altered states of consciousness. Now, I know this sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, and you're right to be skeptical. The scientific community largely doesn't accept xenoglossy as evidence of past lives due to lack of concrete proof. But for those who believe in reincarnation, it's seen as a powerful indicator that the soul retains knowledge from previous incarnations. Our fifth sign is something many of you might relate to: strong attraction to certain cultures or time periods. Have you ever felt an inexplicable pull towards a particular culture or historical era? Maybe you're obsessed with ancient Egypt, or you feel a deep connection to Victorian England. This fascination goes beyond mere interest. It feels like a part of you belongs there. This attraction could be your soul recognizing a time or place where it once lived. It's like a form of spiritual homesickness. Of course, it could also just be a natural interest or the result of exposure to media about that culture. But when the connection feels deeply personal and inexplicable, it might be worth considering if there's more to it. Sign number 6 is something we've all experienced: déjà vu. We've all had those moments where we feel like we've been somewhere before, even when we know we haven't. Or we meet someone for the first time, but it feels like we've known them forever. These déjà vu experiences could be fragments of past life memories surfacing. Now, science has its own explanations for déjà vu. It could be a glitch in our brain's memory system or a delay in processing information. But for those who believe in past lives, déjà vu is seen as moments when the veil between past and present becomes thin, allowing us to catch glimpses of our previous existences. Our seventh sign is a bit more physical: unexplained marks or sensations. Have you ever had a birthmark that you can't explain? Or experienced phantom pains in areas where you've never been injured? Some believe these could be physical manifestations of experiences from past lives. For example, a birthmark on your chest could correspond to a fatal wound in a previous life, or a fear of heights might be accompanied by unexplained sensations of falling. Now, I know this sounds a bit out there, and yes, birthmarks and phantom pains can have medical explanations. But for those who believe in reincarnation, these physical signs are seen as the body remembering what the mind has forgotten. Sign number 8 is all about connections. Intense bonds with certain people. Have you ever met someone and felt an instant, deep connection? As if you've known them your entire life, even though you just met? This could be a sign of a soul connection that spans multiple lifetimes. The idea is that we travel through different lives with the same group of souls, playing different roles in each other's lives. Sometimes we're family, sometimes friends, sometimes enemies, but the connection remains. Of course, skeptics would say this is just chemistry or shared interests, and they could be right, but when the connection feels inexplicably deep and immediate, it does make you wonder about past life connections. And finally, our ninth sign, feeling out of place or drawn to a particular location. Do you ever feel like you don't quite fit in with the time or place you were born? Or do you feel an unexplainable pull towards a specific location? This could be your soul recognizing its true home. Maybe you've always felt you should have been born in a different era, or perhaps you're drawn to a country you've never visited, feeling like you belong there. This sense of displacement or attraction could be your soul's memory of a past life trying to surface. And now, I know we've covered a lot of ground here, and I want to emphasize that while these signs are fascinating to consider, they're not definitive proof of past lives. The concept of reincarnation is a matter of belief, not scientific fact. Many of these experiences can be explained by psychology, neuroscience, or a simple coincidence. But here's the thing, whether or not you believe in past lives, exploring these ideas can be a powerful tool for self-discovery. It can help you understand your fears, your passions, your inexplicable feelings. It can open up new ways of thinking about your place in the universe. So I encourage you to keep an open mind. Pay attention to your experiences. If you resonate with any of these signs, dig deeper. Explore your feelings. You might be surprised at what you discover about yourself. And remember, whether we've lived before or not, what matters most is how we live now. Each day is an opportunity to create new memories, learn new skills, and form new connections. So let's make the most of this life, shall we? Before I go, I'd love to hear from you. Have you experienced any of these signs? Do you believe in past lives? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mind-expanding self-improvement content.